Hi everyone, it's the UK Manic Loomer and I'm here today with a 9-pin bar design. This one was designed by Aloko Kurama and it's called Only Your Love, and I'm just going to show you a couple of his renditions. Just pull that up a moment. Okay, see if I can zoom in, just make it a bit bigger. There you go, so that's his recent one, as he calls it, the Festive Colours. And he's done quite a few renditions. One is amazing, it's red and silver there. So that would be a red opaque and a metallic silver. He's done another one there which is metallic blue and metallic gold. And again we've got purple and metallic gold. And this one is definitely my favourite. This is a metallic blue, metallic gold and metallic purple, and I will actually be doing this rendition today because I love it so much. I did do a rendition on my own which I've pulled apart just because I made it out of Persian bands and I found it so tiny, even 2 loom lengths long, that it wasn't even going to get halfway around my wrist. So what I would advise for this design, it is very tight, it's high tension, so do make sure you brace it up to the best of your abilities. But also to use a loose band such as these metallics, because that's why they work so well with this design. And yeah, just bear that in mind. If you are going to use a tighter band such as the jellies, you might even have to go 3 loom lengths long just to get a full wrap, okay? Right. Let's get going. It is a straight across loom setup, and like I said, it's 2 loom lengths long. So you go ahead and get that done, and when you're ready we can start the looming process. Be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I'd just like to mention in the setup I showed you the loom the other way around. It's meant to be like this if you didn't know already, which I'm sure you do if you're doing a 9-pin bar design. So you're meant to have a U shape or a horseshoe shape here, rather than the other side. But anyway, let's get started. What we're going to do is we're going to start with a little bit of a border. We're going to go on the 3rd to 4th pin, and you're going to put the colour that's going to be your X's there, and we're going to go from the 6th to the 7th and bring that across. Now we're going to choose what our next colour is going to be, and this colour is going to be the one that's coming along the outside on that design, and also the colour that sort of surrounds all the other lines if you look back at those designs, okay? So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to do my metallic blues. So all I'm going to do is go from the 3rd to the 2nd, 2nd to the 1st, like that, and the 7th to the 8th and 8th to the 9th, okay? So that is going to be our closing off border at the end. Now what we're going to do is go back to these metallic golds, and we're going to lay X's all the way up. Now what they are is the 3rd pin bar, we're going to go diagonally up and inwards to the 4th, drop back down 1, diagonally up and outwards to the 3rd, and we're going to repeat that pattern all the way. So it's the bottom band going up and inwards, top band is going up and outwards, okay? Up and inwards to the 4th, 4th up and out to the 3rd, okay? So you're going to take that all the way to the very last pin on this design, and what we're going to do is we're going to come back here on the 7th pin bar, we're going to go diagonally up and inwards, so the bottom bands always go inwards, okay, and then we're going to go diagonally up and outwards, diagonally up and inwards, up and outwards, up and inwards, up and outwards, okay? So really basic X's, take them all the way to the end and we can move on. Be right back. Okay, I'm back and that's my X's done. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do the colour that's going to be showing on the design on the outer edges and the one that runs along the sides of each of these X bands. Now I was going to show you on the phone, but my phone has just died, so if you want to see what I mean, just refer back to the beginning of the tutorial, or even better, just log on to Instagram and go onto Loco Kerama's page and have a look at those designs. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go where these blue bands are to start with, and we are just going to lay bands over the top of these and carry on all the way up in the same fashion. Let me just see if I can adjust this a little better. There you go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our metallics and we're going to go second pin, second to first, second to third, straight across, okay? Then we're going to go up one pin, we're going to go second to first, second to third, up one pin, second to first, second to third, second to first, second to third, okay? So that's what we're going to do all the way up on this part, and we're going to do the exact same thing on this side here. So 8th pin bar, we're going to go from the first pin first, we're going to lay some bands over the top of here. So we're going to go 8th to 7th, 7th to 8th, and then we're going to go 8th to 7 on the next one up, 8th to 9th, 8th to 7, 8th to 9th. And we're going to continue that all the way up to the other side. And if you want to do the same colour, you can do it here as well, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to alternate the colour, and I'm going to bring in the metallic purple here. So on this 5th pin, we are going to go 5th to the 4th, and then 5th to the 6th, okay? And then we're going to continue up that, 5th to the 4th, 5th to the 6th, 5th to the 4th, 5th to the 6th, okay? So go ahead and do that all the way on all 3 of these rows, all the way to the end, and when you're ready, we can move on. Okay, I'm back, and this is what the loom should be looking like at the moment. Next, we've got the final band laying. So like I said, it's a really simple design to follow. What we're going to do is we're going to do a double band, which just means that we're going to have 2 bands instead of 1 as normal. And we're going to do straight lines on the 2nd, 5th and 3rd pin bar. For this, I'm going to be bringing back my metallic gold. And all I'm going to do, 2nd pin bar, I'm going to put 2 bands and just straight line, 2 bands, straight line, all the way to the other side. Make sure you push down those bands as you go, ready for the stitch up. And then on the 5th pin bar, again, double bands. I mean, I suppose you could use single bands if you're more band conscious about how many you use. It's just that the effect that the designer's come up with, he likes to use 2 bands just to give it a little bit of thickness on the rows, and then the 8th pin bar. So yeah, by all means, if you have to, if you haven't got a lot of bands, then do use just the single band. But what I would recommend perhaps is that on those single bands you put a little bit of a bling to it, maybe a bead or something, just to sort of like really bring out the single band, whereas you can't really do that on the double. Okay, right, okay, so I'm going to leave you off here. Straight line, 2nd, 5th and 8th pin bar all the way to the end, and when you've done that we can turn the loom around and get ready to stitch. Be right back. Okay, I'm back, and this is how your loom should be looking. And it's time to turn it around. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop some cap bands on now. Now Loka Kurama did a double cap band across these two bits here. I found when I did a rendition earlier, I found it a little bit on the loose side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do separate bands, cap bands on here. So you'll want one on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. So basically on every single one except for the 1st and the 9th. And I'm just going to do triple cap bands on all of them. And I'm going to be using metallics gold on straight lines. And just having a quick think about this. Okay, no, what you're going to do is just leave it off here. So 2nd, 5th and 8th pin bar for now. We'll put the rest of the cap bands on later because they're going to be in the way otherwise. So let's get looming. All we have to do now is go into each of the cap bands we've just put on and take that straight line, both bands, back to the other side. Make sure you do pick up both. Just bring it over, go in, bring it back to itself, go in and back to itself. So that's the 2nd pin bar. Make sure you push it down. The 5th pin bar, or your middle one, go in and go forward each time, making sure you get both of those bands and bring it forward. And then obviously the 8th pin bar, making sure you get both bands. So I've only got one there. Go back in and get the other one. And then bring the next one forward and so on. So really simple to do. So go ahead and get your 3 straight lines on the 2nd, 5th and 8th pin bar and all the way to the end, and make sure you push them down, ready for the next move. Be right back. Okay, I'm back and that's my 3 lines done on the 2nd, 5th and 8th pin bar. I forgot to push them down, so I'll just have to do that in a moment. Right, all we're going to do now is another very simple move should I say. What we're going to do is with these little bands that come on either side, we're going to go into that cap band, grab that top band, which should be the one going to the left, bring it back to itself, go into the next one, bring it back to itself to the right, and you're going to go up and do the exact same thing. So you're going to go top band first, which is my left, then the 2nd band, which is my right, left and right, and you're going to do that all the way to the end, making sure that you only loop the top bands and not the bottom bands here, because if you remember we have 4 bands in total, we have 2 blue bands on here, so you only want to be looping those 1 band on each side and leave the bottom 2 alone. Okay, so, and that goes for this side as well. What we're going to do is we're also going to go into the 5th pin bar. We are going to do the same thing, so top band to the left, next band to the right, go up 1, top band to the left, next band to the right, again pin it up, to the left, to the right, and again on the 8th pin bar. So we're going to do left, go in again, right, next one up, top band first, which is your left, then your right, top band, which is your left, then your right. So go ahead and do that all the way to the end, and when you're ready we'll move on. Okay, I'm done and I'm back, and this is what the loom looks like now. We're going to stay with the bands we've just sewed outwards from each other, and what we're going to do is, if I just bring in a bit more for you. Okay, so we're going to grab, starting on the first pin bar, first pin, we're going to grab both of these bands here, and we're just going to take them to the pin above and drop them, okay? And then we're going to go into there and grab those bands that were there, pull them up and through, and drop them on the one above. And third pin bar, we're going to go in to the ones we just dropped, grab through the bands that were there, and bring them up to the next pin, okay? So that's what we're going to do all the way up here, and we're going to do the same here. So I'm going to go in and grab these two, bring them forwards one, go into the ones we've just dropped, grab those two and bring it forwards one, again grab in and bring it forwards, and we're going to do that all the way to the end on that side. We're also going to do the exact same thing, so I'm not going to show you, on this one, this one, this one and this one. Just put it back into frame there. So we're going to do it on these two here and these two as well, okay? So we're just going to take one and bring it forward to the one in front. We're going to do that all the way to the end, and then obviously you'll have these two just on its own. They have nowhere to go, so just leave them as they are, okay? So you go ahead and do that, and I'm going to finish mine off, and when you're ready, we'll move on. Okay, I'm back, and this is what the loom looks now. As you can see, or here, the tension has got quite strong on here, and even though I'm using these 6-pin extension bases, which are fantastic and really is worth investing in if you're doing these big designs, it's still rocking and bucking. But luckily we've only got really 1 and a bit left to do before we take it off, so let's get on with it. What we're going to do is we're going to place a cap band on these metallic gold crosses here. I'm going to zoom in a bit. On the design, it is a single cap band, and I think that's what I'm going to use, except for he did a single band doubled. I am going to try to do a triple, because the silicone metallics are so flexible, you can just about get to it, and hopefully that will stop that loose feeling I got on the last one. So that's been doubled over, and I'm just going to grab one more, stretch it, twist and bring it over, and it just about makes it there. So obviously if you are using anything other than these silicone metallics or a silicone type band, you most probably only get a double cap on that, but that's alright. You're just going to end up with a slightly looser look. Okay, so that's been doubled. Grab one of the strands, any of them will do. Right, okay, just adjust it a little bit. Sorry, I'm all fingers and thumbs, aren't I? I don't do graceful, sorry. Okay, so now I put a triple cap band across these, and what we're going to do is we're going to always take the bottom band first back to itself, and then the top band. So we're going to start on the 4th pin. We're going to go in, grab that bottom band and bring it up back to the 3rd. Then we're going to go into the 3rd, get tight there, bring it up and back to the 4th, 4th back to the 3rd, okay, and then 3rd back to the 4th, 4th back to the 3rd, and 3rd back to the 4th. I think you get the idea. And you're going to take that all the way to the end, okay? And then we're going to start on the 6th pin here. So going into that band, it's a little bit on the tight side, so let's just take it slowly. Okay, I think I'm going to adjust with my lights next time. It's very overshadowed. Right, okay. there you go. So then we're going to go into the 6th pin bar to the 7th, and then the 7th up diagonally to the 6th, 6th up diagonally to the 7th, drop down 1, 7th diagonally up to the 6th. Okay, so that's basically the pattern. Bottom one first, top band second. Take it all the way to the end, and then we'll just finish the closing off part and we can take it off our loom. Be right back. Okay, I'm done, and this is how your loom should be looking. Now we've only got the very final part. Pretty sure I mentioned before he had double banded these bands here, but I've left them as single, so I'm hoping it works really well. So here it goes. We're going to go on to, we're going to zoom in first. We are going to bring it in from the first, go in again, and you're just grabbing the bottom band here, okay, not the bands that we stitched outwards here. So bring it in twice, okay, and then we're going to go in, and I'm finding that band, gold band there. Right, okay, so remember we put that gold band there, and then I'm going to hold it with our fingers. I'm going to go into this one, pull them all back, grab just that gold band, the other side of here. Okay, so that will cinch up these bits here. I'm going to find my C-clip and pop it on, and we're going to do on this side as well. I'm really hoping this doesn't look too loose now, because before it looked too tight, and I wanted to get the tutorial shot, so I didn't make another one with the looser bands, so cross fingers it doesn't look too terrible. Okay, so there you go, it's been popped on, and that is your bands all done. So all we have to do now is take it off. I am a little bit dubious about pulling bands off, to be honest, and as it's bucking like crazy already, there's going to be a lot of tension on it, so I'm just going to gently pull them off with my hook. Always start with the 1st and the 9th pin bar. That just relieves pressure on the inner bands, which generally are, well, they're thankful for it, let's put it that way. Okay, that's the 9th. Starting on the 1st here. See all my pins sagging in relief now, just to get that little tension off them. Okay, right, and then what I do is I just like to go from left to right and just keep weaving, so then it goes right to left, left to right. Something that's very, very loose there, and I was just like, oh no, please no, because yeah, this is not the first time I've shot this tutorial. I went ahead and shot this tutorial with the pins the wrong way around, which didn't really help, did it? I got all the way up putting all the bands on, realised I'd done it wrong. I had to take all the bands off. Okay. Give my dog a big cuddle, because I hate doing that. Not cuddling my dog, but you know, faffing up on such a big project. And, you know, my dog always gives me a bit of comfort. and lots of dog hair. Forever molting. So so it's getting there. I think I prefer Loco Carama's version where he had the golds where I have my blue and my purple, and he had the purple and blue where the line golds are. But that's okay. I mean, they're still lovely. But I wanted to do something that stood out a little bit more for you guys to be able to follow. So, and I'm sure it'll be absolutely beautiful when I straighten it all out. It's just twisty bands. Oh dear, dear, dear. Nearly there, guys. I suppose you could try and pull it off at this stage, but like I say, normally I just hate the idea of spending absolute ages putting the bands on, stitching them together, only to yank it off and snap that band that was a little bit on the loose side, a little bit weak. One little pesky one somehow managed to make it on the design. Just couldn't take it being pulled off. Right, almost there. So I'm not going to straighten the bands out on all of them because that'll take too long on camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it off, give it a bit of a pull and a wiggle, and see how it looks overall. And then obviously you'll see the finishing results on my Instagram page, and hopefully Loco Carama will also repost it onto his page as well so you can see it. Right. Okay, so this, even in the silicone range, is a little bit on the small side. But that's okay, but it's definitely not as small as it was with the Persian. The Persians only came out to about that size. It was ridiculously small. Right, let's just zoom in a bit more. Okay, so yeah, I definitely prefer the way he did it with the purple down this line here, the blue here and the blue here with the golds on the outside. But it would not have shown you clearly enough so you could see the patterns yourself, and that is the whole point of the tutorial. So I might go ahead and make myself another one of these renditions. I have a few of the Looming Artists designs to tutorialise first, but perhaps after the Christmas madness has all died down, I can make another one of these renditions. Loco Carama would absolutely love to see it blinged. So if you are going to be putting bling on perhaps another rendition, or if you've watched this all the way through, I would say the bottom bands or the X's would be a very good place to pop the beads, because that is the side up at the top and that's the side at the bottom. Other than that, I can't see very many places that you could bead it. I'm sure you could find some more. Right, okay, let's just wrap this up so I can go ahead and fiddle with these bands and get them all straightened out, because this is driving me crazy. Right, okay, this design was, or is called, Only Your Love. It was designed by the new talented Loco Carama. You can find a few more of his designs on my YouTube channel. Of course, it's visualised by me, UK Manic Loomer. Just do a quick wrist test for you. So this is 2 looms lengths long, and as you can see it does not fit, especially when I start straightening out those bands a bit. On average they do shrink down a little bit, so it will definitely need an extension for my wrist. If you have a slender wrist, it will definitely fit you with 2 loom lengths, but my wrist is a little bit on the larger than normal size. So just bear that in mind. Yeah, see, I can't stop playing with it now. Yeah. So I think that's all about it. We'd love to see your rendition, so please do hashtag it. Only your love. The details are below in the description box. If you like this tutorial, please do give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, put a thumbs down. Either way, I'd love to hear a comment regarding the tutorial, whether it's the lighting, the background, the looms, the actual tutorialist herself. Give us your feedback, guys. Really love reading it all. Just having a quick look at these bands that I did. So that was the triple, and that does look better, much better than the double. And this was the single bands rather than twisting it up double, and I think that looks better as well, so I'm glad I went ahead with that one. I actually made a little bit of a boo-boo here, I've caught the wrong one, but that's fine, it doesn't really matter because that will be all tied up with the rest of it. So that's how it should look, and obviously I picked up the wrong one, so I'm just going to go back out, redo it, and then just stitch it back so it looks nice and neat. Right, okay, so that's all said and done. So, from the UK, bye.